Very good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another week of racing here at IRC in our ACC season. Today we are at the circuit none other than Imola. So definitely a great race that is there to be looked forward to, and obviously giving me company in the comms box today. Again, we have Simply YT, who will be my co-commentator today. So Simply, any expectations? Any thoughts on the race before we hop into the quali?
I think it's a night race, so that is going to add a bit of a challenge for these drivers at a very tricky track and very technical track at Imola. Sure.
Yeah, definitely. Indeed, that's a good information that you have provided. It is indeed gonna be a night race. Both the races, in fact, are gonna be night. So, just for a revision of the format, we are following the same format throughout the season this season. So, it is gonna be a 10-minute quali followed by a 20-minute race and then followed by a 30-minute sprint race. So, no need to pit, just a splash and dash, two consecutive race. So, you still have some time to get back to the field even if you mess up in your first race. So that is the format that we will be following today as well for the race, and obviously it will be just the twist is that today it is gonna be a night race. Around 21 or 20 drivers will be racing with us today according to the attendance that I can see. So again, it's gonna be a very exciting race to be watched, especially considering that it's not a very wide track, and considering GT3 cars, not having that much of an overspeed on each other, it's very tricky to get a move done. One thing that will definitely help drivers is to get a much better exit out of corners and then look for a move. But apart from that, it is gonna be very challenging today for the drivers to get a overtake.
Yep, definitely. This is going to be a very interesting race, as you said. And there are a few of our drivers who are going for other events, or they're not available today. So we could see some unexpected podium sitters.
Yeah, definitely. There is a couple of endurance races that are going on. Couple of people have participated in that, and because of that, we won't be having them in today's race. But without further delay, let's just head over to the race itself and just have a look at the quali as to what we can see in the quali itself.
Yep, and personally for me, these cars under the lights, the night time look very sexy, especially with all the lights that are glowing. So that also adds to the aesthetic of this race. And as you said earlier, Dipanshu, considering that this track is not very wide, it will be very crucial that these drivers get a very good qualifying, but of course keeping it clean through the tricky sections like the turn one, which is again it just comes at you very quickly. So the drivers will have to be on their foot 24/7 throughout this race.
The worst part will be for us drivers, because if we go to helicam, we can absolutely not figure out which car is whose, because there is absolutely no track lighting whatsoever. This track seems to be not meant for night racing, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, people don't really use this track for any sort of endurance racing. Hence, there's no lights, so we just have to rely on the driver numbers that we can see. And of course, we'll be hoping that the drivers don't break their lights, because then it's gonna make it harder for us to figure out who it is.
Yeah,
But yeah, a
definitely.
driver number should be a good help.
Yeah, we'll try to, keep it in check, keep the drivers in check. But yeah, like talking about the endurance race that is going parallelly with another league, I do still see 8 cylinders who has joined us for the race, and even Starboy and even Starmax Lord. So those three drivers are the participants of that endurance race. So I'm not sure if they have called their race short, or they have a fourth member who is currently driving in the endurance race, and they have asked for a 1 hour break so that they can participate. We already have car number 8 going in reverse direction. Oh no, that's car number 11 That is Akshay Sivani, who is going in the reverse direction in a damaged McLaren, especially with a front damaged McLaren. I'm not sure why he did not decide to go into the pits, because a McLaren after a front damage is a boat. Speaking from personal experience.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a very good ACC driver. I haven't driven ACC much myself. But from what very experienced drivers that we have today, like Tavleesh Singh, Starboy, from what I've heard, that the McLaren generally can't ride the curbs, if I'm not wrong. So,
Yeah.
considering that at Imola, where you really need to ride the curbs, I think the McLaren drivers are going to face a very big challenge here because they won't really be able to use all of the curbs that are there on the track, and they could lose a lot of lap time because of that.
Yeah, this is one thing that is definitely there, that the McLaren, because it sits so low to the ground, it's generally not possible to ride any kind of curve with that. But how the McLaren compensates is that it is a very stable, and if you can make the setup right, you can make it oversteery and stable as well. So that is one feature that is very difficult to achieve in any other car, like to make it stable as well as oversteery, which McLaren can still achieve. So that's what the McLaren drivers aim for. They try to go for a way more aggressive kind of setup, but we already have a couple of times being set on the board. W Singh with the fastest time of a 1:41.6. A lot more drivers are setting in their lap times, although not their representative lap times as of now. So we will have to still wait and watch for 5 minutes of this quali, which is left, on what drivers can do.
Yeah, only 5.5 minutes left, and considering we only have a 10-minute long qualifying, considering the pace of these cars are fairly slower than what the F1 counterparts are, there's a lot more pressure on these drivers to make sure they can properly, get their runs in, make sure they set good qualifying times. I think one banker lap only, and then and time for perhaps maybe 1, 2, or even 3 hot laps would be a good, I'd say, strategy for these drivers, especially around this track over here, where you could perhaps make a lot more mistakes. So giving yourself that more time to set a hot lap in case you do make a mistake would be a better choice for them.
Yeah, definitely. One thing I'm noticing in the night light, that Ferrari is the only car having 6 lights because I am seeing each and every constructor, they are having max of 4 lights, but Ferrari, I think they were like, our car will be going way quicker, so the driver needs to see more things. So let's slap on 2 more lights. Although I believe the top 2 lights are just DRLs, and they just look like they are headlights in this night light, but they are just there for show, and probably the other 2 lights, other 4 lights are the main lights. But anyways, we are on board Panda, going through the chicane, not at all getting a good exit out of that chicane, because obviously that chicane is a killer place for the entirety of the race. We do see a lot of people losing their car there. Again, Akshay Sivani also losing the car there on that chicane. So that's gonna be a tricky place for people to maneuver in the race as well.
Yes, again, it does not help that Akash is in a McLaren, and such a corner like that chicane over there, you really need to use as much curve as possible to reduce your track extension, I would say, and minimize your time loss. However, I'd say that there could be a few drivers who could be during the race trying to make very aggressive moves over there. I mean, of course, it would depend down to the driver trusting the other driver to make such a move. But if someone is quite desperate, I believe they could go for a move over there, and we'll have to see if it works out for them or not.
Yeah, let's just stay on board Tavleesh Singh, as he is almost halfway into his lap, coming through, about to reach Aquaman Raleigh, if I'm not wrong. This is what the name of the turn is?
Yes.
Okay, so I do know a couple of terms for Imola. Coming to the chicane. Let's see how well can he manage, or he handle the chicane. Perfectly took the curb without any impact on the car at all. Seemed like he was just gliding through them in his Audi. Audi has definitely come out to be quite a good car because of the recent patches and BOP. for other cars, and that's what Davlesh Singh is trying to take advantage of, using each and every inch. Maybe could have used a bit more, but still, I'm pretty sure this is gonna be a good lap time that he has set. He will be setting. He does not. He is 3 tenths lower than his previous lap. So he'll come back to him. Maybe once he improves his lap even more. But meanwhile, Sai Prithvi has closed the gap to the leader, and he is now just only 6 tenths slower than Davlesh Singh.
Yeah, Sai Prithvi, I believe, if he could, perhaps with the amount of time remaining, maybe he has a time for one lap. If he does not invalidate this lap, then he has a time for one more lap. But I think we'll just have to cool his tires down slightly, conserve his fuel a little bit, and then if he definitely has the time to go again and set a faster time. So if the Valish cannot improve on his final run as well, I think Sai Prithvi could perhaps snatch the pole away if he absolutely nails his lap.
Yeah, definitely. Right now we are on board Tegiz 1, who is around 6.5 tenths up on his delta compared to his best time, and that does help him move up to P5 because of that delta. So that's a good show from him. Right now it doesn't seem like Sai Prithvi is on a lap. Akbar Kumar is just now completed his lap with 2 tenths quicker in this lap compared to his previous, and moves up to P3, but it still seems like people are very far off from what Davlesh Singh has set as of now in this lobby. Meanwhile, Davlesh Singh is around 2 tenths quicker than his best lap, so he is gonna improve on his time as he comes around the final corner. Will be crossing the line any second, and will be increasing the gap from P2 as he crosses the line. And there you go, 2 tenths quicker than his fastest lap.
A very good lap time from the Valish, and now I guess his hope will just be that his electricity doesn't cut out in the middle of the race like what we saw in Silverstone. That really messed up his race, and considering that the top three, top four were at that point really pulled away, Davlish could only secure, I believe, a P4. That was before any penalties that might have been applied. So as long as Davlish, does not face any such technical issues and keeps it clean, I think it'll be pretty decent cruise for him, at least in race one to the win.
Yeah, definitely. Right now we are on board FIFA Kanak, who is trying to get that P5 position from Tegiz 1. He is improving on his lap, and he is up by around 5 tenths, but he decides to stop his car. Did he lose his car? I'm not sure, but he was up by 5 tenths. Right now we are on board Deepakraj, who is up by 4 tenths. He is about to cross the line. Will he improve on the position? Oh, that's an exact time that he did with FIFA Kanak. So just a millisecond, if he could have improved, he would have been starting P7. But unfortunately, there he is starting P8 because of him qualifying a bit later. So that's quali done, I believe. I don't see anyone else setting a time, but we have Davlesh Singh winning, getting the pole position as usual. Sai Prithvi, who is 8 tenths slower than him. So it's gonna be another Sunday drive for Davlesh Singh. What do you think, simply? Saturday drive, actually.
Yeah, as long as I said earlier, if Davlish does not face any technical issues and he can keep it clean basically and does not get into any incidents, I think it will be a decent cruise for him.
Yeah, definitely. Looking at the timing sheets, that's all I can say, that it's gonna be a cruise for him. But we have P2 Sai Prithvi, who is 8 tenths slower than him. We are hoping that he gets some pace out of nowhere in the race, but we'll have to wait and see if that actually happens. But P3 Akbar Kumar again showing a really good finish in today's race as well, with a delta of 1.2 seconds. So that's not also a bad time. So we can see some good fighting going on between P2, P3, P4 in the race based on their quali pace. But right now we are back into the race, and we are waiting for the drivers to ready up. Let's have a grid walkthrough. What say?
While we're having the grid walk, Dipanshu, I can confirm the Endurance boys do have a fourth driver, Shubham Chaudhary it is, I believe, and he is currently doing his stint. Hence why the other three drivers are here right now,
Yeah.
able to participate in our race.
That's what I also expected, but this is the grid for today. Dhavlesh Singh starting in P1, followed by Sai Prithvi in P2, Akbar Singh in P3, P4, Rishabh P5, 8 Sil at the end moment. P6 tag is 1, P7, FIFA Kanak P8, Deepakraj P9, Abhi Thakur P10, Raja P11, Worship the Panda P12, Ghost P13, Ilium P14, Starboy P15, Cannonade P16, Star Max Lord P17, Faizan. Something happened there. P16 Faizan, P17 Supreme Kai, P18 Akashwani, and P19 KG, and P20 Mr. Rout. Definitely something happened. Someone left in middle. Who is that? Which position is vacant? Can we see? Yeah, there
There
is.
were 21 drivers.
This is the position which is vacant, which is P1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So who was P6?
FIFA Kanak it was.
Someone else is missing, I believe.
Interesting.
Someone is missing here, you know. That place should not be vacant. So definitely something happened. Someone did leave the this thing. Akbar Kumar is there, Rishabh is there, 8 Sil is there, FIFA Kanak is there, Deepakraj is there. Someone near to that, only someone has left the server, but unfortunately he will be starting from the pits itself. He does not have any other option, but we are about to start the race. Everyone will have to change their grid position because of that driver not being there, but hopefully they will sort themselves out.
Looks like Ocean has joined back. I believe it was Ocean was missing because we had 20 drivers. Ocean's joined back.
Ah, yes,
He has
Oshan
got
has
21.
joined back. Anyways, we are rounding up from the final corner and we will soon be going green with this helicam. Osan unfortunately will have to start from the pits in this race and hopefully make some time, but his controls will be logged for 3 minutes, so it's pretty much race over for him. But looking up at the front, it's about to go green as they are coming to the final king that leads on to the straight. We'll see who gets a good start and who does not. They are bunching up, it seems like, you know, everyone now at a constant pace. They are just waiting for the flags to drop green. As they cross the start finish line, it should be green any second. Maybe that's not the, there's the green light that we were looking for. Everyone seems to have gotten good enough starts. No one struggling that much except for I believe that's yellow car of Eitzel in the Ferrari, and there is some incident at the back. Not sure who that was. That's Ghost, who is involved in an incident at the back, who is trying to rejoin the track, as well as one more guy. I believe it was Cannonade, who got into an incident. Up ahead also, we have Raja, who is taking a stroll down the grass. One more car going off the track ahead of him. So everyone not having the best of the times on the race start, but up ahead it looks like the the order has stayed constant, with almost everyone maintaining the gap to whatever their starting position was.
Yep, the only person I can see in the top 6 is 8 Cylinders, who's lost one position on the start, but then I believe he got squeezed going into turn 1, and hence it was, I believe, FIFA Kanako took him around the outside, who overtook him around the outside. So currently Eitzel not doing so bad. We have seen him put in very good performance. Of course, we still have 18.5 minutes left, so he'll be definitely pushing for that P3 position, or at least if he could improve on that, then even better.
Yeah, definitely. Right now we are on board FIFA Kanak, who is looking very racy since the start of the race, and he is right now on the tail of Rishabh, who is just ahead of him, and looking for if he can make up that position, one more position on the first lap of the race itself. We have an incident at the back of the grid. Not sure what is happening. Multiple cars on the exit, sorry, there, because of which everyone colliding into each other. That is the last second turn, I believe, exit, where a couple of cars were parked, and because of that, many of the cars got rear-ended. Because of the cars coming from behind, and many of them are diving into the pits to get their cars repaired.
Yeah, by the looks of it, I think it was Ghost who could have been possibly the cause of that incident, because of course we saw earlier he did get that incident earlier in the lap, and then he had a bit of damage because of that. So perhaps he just lost control, and then the drivers weren't aware. And of course, in the darkness, I mean, you do have the lights turned on, but the visibility is still not great because there is no track lights. So they're completely relying on what other drivers their lights, and if there is multiple cars like we saw over there bounce together, the track essentially becomes dark in that one bit, and I guess that is what caused that multi-car pileup over there.
Yeah, definitely. That is a very true experience that you are sharing. Driving any track in the dark is a big challenge in this game. But right now we are on board. Worship the Panda, who is trying to get away from Abe Thakur, who is just ahead of him. And because of that, Abe Thakur not giving way, there is a short train forming with Starboy also just behind Worship the Panda. So we'll have to wait and see. Worship the Panda decides to go for the outside because Abe Thakur defended the inside. They are still going side by side, going into the final corner. Enough space was left, but I think Worship the Panda just went a bit more wide, dipped his tires in the gravel, and is currently losing a place to Starboy there.
Yeah, that was a bit of a squeeze and pull over there, as we could see. Again, those corners are very, very tight, and that's someone pulling off on the exit of the pit lane over there. But coming back to that, what happened there with Panda, again, that corner was very tight, and Panda just got squeezed out. The other driver really couldn't do much because there's only that much space left on track, and that was an easy position for Starboy. So Starboy will definitely take it, and he'll be focusing to get past Abe Thakur as quickly as possible so he can catch the top 7 pack.
Yeah, definitely. Up ahead, it seems that the battle has cooled down already. Davlesh Singh has pulled out a gap of 5 seconds in the matter of 2 laps, 3 laps. So he doesn't seem to be stoppable for this race, but obviously the battle that we are on right now, the pack of Abe Thakur, Starboy and Panda, all three trying to get the move done on each other and move up on the pack. We'll see what comes out of this battle and who comes out on top. 2 Ferrari chasing a Mercedes. Where have we seen this?
This will be a very interesting battle, of course.
Oh, and Panda just bounced that curve that there is no tomorrow. Almost dies, but somehow comes out alive of that. Yeah, carry on. Sorry to cut you off there.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, this will be a very interesting battle. Abe Thakur does not have the slipstream of Deepakraj, who is ahead. I believe he does not, or he does. I'm not sure.
He is 1.9 seconds behind, so I don't think he has the slipstream there.
Right, so he does not have the slipstream, so that just puts a lot of pressure on him because there's Panda and then there's Starboy who are right behind him, constantly pressuring him 24/7. So he will have to be on his toes completely, be completely focused, because we know how experienced these people, and we can already see he's gone off wide, and here comes Starboy. Starboy's made a move because Abe Thakur went off onto the gravel, and that even leaves the Panda the space to go ahead, and Panda has taken that space, and he is ahead of Abe Thakur. And yeah, that was Abe Thakur getting the commentator's curse. Actually, it could be because he was defending quite well, and then I guess he just made a slight mistake there, but he definitely has the laps remaining to come back, and even of course, if he cannot make any positions now, he definitely has the time to make those in the next race.
Yeah, indeed. Right now, because of that small mistake, 2 drivers went by him, but he hasn't fallen off that much. He is still there. He is still waiting for opportunity when the drivers ahead of him, who will be soon engaging in a battle, to make a mistake and maybe bounce on that. But going back, we have KG, who is currently on a charge to Supreme Kai, going down the inside. A bit of incident there, a bit of banging, and that's a pass on Acura Minerale on the inside. So not a very clean move that we were expecting. Obviously not happy is KG there with the lack of space that was given as they go into the chicane, and Supreme Kai decides to back out of that battle. I'm not sure whose fault was it, but definitely it seemed like KG wasn't the one who was happy about that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Aqua Mineral is definitely not the place to try and make a move. It was still quite a brave move from him, but of course, I think the driver wasn't really expecting it, and hence why that slight contact over there. But at the end of the day, they both come out clean. Nobody has completely spun off the track, and nobody has severe damage from it either. So, at the end of the day, it's better for Cage, honestly.
Yeah, indeed. We are right now on board Rishabh, who has closed on his gap to Akbar Kumar ahead of him. So Rishabh is on a charge for P3. The podium positions is what he is looking for as of now. But all he can see right now is the rear of Mercedes at the moment. So he has to dispose of that to get the chance on the podium. And Sai Prithvi is not that far off from these two folks. So it's gonna be a good battle for the podium positions soon as the race is turning up.
Yeah, Sai Prithvi, again, he's doing an absolute defensive masterclass over here currently. I mean, of course, he just does not have the pace to match with Davlish Singh, but he's still doing fairly well to keep Akbar Kumar and Rishabh behind him. And although what they should be considerate of is that FIFA Kanak will also catch up to them soon if they keep continuing bad like that. 8 Cylinders has got a drive-through penalty.
Very interesting. Did he invalidate his lap so many times that he already got a penalty? I am not sure. But yeah, it looks like it, and he is diving into the pits to serve his drive-through. Thinks the best of it to serve it right now, and he has gone into the pits. One thing is there, Rishabh should have a bit more overspeed on Akbar Kumar on the straights. And oh, I thought that it was just Akbar Kumar who was losing his rear, but unfortunately, it was a monkey see, monkey do situation, and Rishabh also followed him with his rear loss and could not control it. And he has lost one more position to FIFA Kanak there.
Yeah, I mean, the monkey see, monkey do only happens when you're supremely focused just on the car ahead and you're not really paying attention to everything else. And that is what happens generally, basically everywhere. And you can see the drivers basically focus on the car ahead and they're trying to replicate what the car ahead is doing because perhaps they could be pulling away, and then if the car ahead makes a slight mistake they end up copying it unintentionally, of course. And we can see Worship the Panda trying to pressure Starboy but makes a slight mistake there coming out of that corner, and because of that he's lost over a second over here.
He's gonna lose more time here. He's just not getting his brake points right, his turn in right, because even in the previous corner he just took the yellow sausage, which no matter what car you are driving, my friend, you cannot take those yellow sausage. So that's what set his car off, but well held by him. He has to get the work done again. He is right now 2.3 seconds behind, so he will be looking to come back in this race at a later stage with only half of the race or half of the first sprint race remaining.
Yep, and we can see over here 8 Cylinders is flashing his lights to try and get past Supreme Kai as quickly as possible, but Supreme Kai is not willing to give up that position to 8 Cylinders, and 8 oh well, now he gives up the position, or at least moves across. I believe he's trying to defend off from 8 Cylinders and not easily give that position. They're going side by side coming into the penalty ground. There's a bit of a contact. 8 goes off into the grass, still keeps it on track, and he's coming for the switchback. They're going side by side again. But in a space, 8 Cylinders backs out now. His next overtaking opportunity could be on the straight or at least into turn 1.
Yeah, he is in a Ferrari following an Aston. Ferrari should have a better straight line speed, but based on what happened in the final corner, doesn't look like he got the best of the exit and is not able to capitalize on the Aston Martin ahead of him. There was a slight bump by 8 that was given. Can be happening again here, but 8 is really comfortable with that rear of that Aston.
Yep, and he's also very confident on the brakes. I mean, into turn 1 he caught up basically almost all of the time, and I think he'd be aiming for more of a dive bomb now rather than if he can see that he's not able to make a move. Although he's got a much better lane, a much better exit. They're going side by side currently, going into this very who does not go into one sort of corner. I think 8 Cylinders will have to give it up to Supreme Kai. No, he sends it down the inside and it's past Supreme Kai in his Ferrari up into P14. Will Supreme Kai get back at him then? No, he does not. So 8 Cylinders has finally cleared off Supreme Kai after one lap later than he would really wanted to, but this just at least leaves him to now go and hunt down Star Max Lord, KG and Faiza.
Yeah, definitely. That was a good battle that happened there, and it was fun to watch with a bit of aji-baji, but obviously there is no racing, which is gonna be 100% clean. So it was still a fair move. Well done from both of the drivers, and Itzel is trying to get back again after he lost the position there.
Yeah, he's already on the back of Star Max Lord, and he is past Star Max Lord now.
I'm not sure
And
what happened there. Why is Starmax Lord going so slow? But yeah, he has already overtaken Starmax Lord. Ahead, we have Abhay Thakur, who is, looking racy today and trying to charge on the beamer of helium there. So this is another battle which is going on.
yep, battles all across the field. There's a bunch of little pack, I believe, just behind these guys as well. That's trying to fight it out for what position? I'm not sure. I think it is P13, so it's starting from 8 cylinders and going behind. That's a decent pack
Oh,
that's having a lot of fighting over there. And
Panda
now we can
has
see Worship
lost.
the Panda
Yes.
has lost his car, and he's lost two more positions as a result of that. Panda's not having a good first race at all.
Yeah, he was a lot out of shape when we were on board him, making a lot of mistakes. So yeah, it doesn't come to me as a surprise that he's not. He did get into an incident with himself. Obviously, no one else was involved in that. But hopefully, maybe the first race is a good practice for him, and maybe he gets used to the setup and he comes back in the next race more stronger than what he is as of now.
I think that little bit of misfortune that happened originally has just, set his mood off, and he'll just have to hope for a good recovery in the next race. And now we can see Abhay Thakur is he's still trying to hunt down Helium. Helium is, of course, very experienced as well. Not saying Abhay Thakur isn't, but yeah, they're still having a very good battle over here, and Helium is although right now currently pulling away from Abhay Thakur, but Abhay Thakur could pull it back in perhaps the second or even the third sector.
Yeah, definitely we'll see. With only 5 minutes left in this race, 1/4 of the race distance left. We are yet to see if any other battle can sprout up. We do see Abhay Thakur closing up the gap on the beamer on the straight a lot, especially from the exit of that chicane. We have Starmax Lord, who is going very slow, who was going very slow. Yellow flags were caused because of him, but he seems to have recovered from that. The pack of Helium, Abetakur and Worship the Panda just went through Aqua Minerale, where Panda seems to be struggling a lot. So these two corners, especially Aqua Minerale and the chicane, are the places where Panda seems to be struggling the most. Abhay Thakur not be doing the most wise move there by dipping his wheel on the grass. That's not how you want to go quick. So we'll have to keep an eye on this battle if they can pull out something during this last phase of the race.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's really not going to help him, but if anything, it's going to give more understeer through these corners because it's not iRacing, so it does not help you in any way, shape, or form. So that did cost him a little bit of a lap time. Although looking at the times that we just saw that these drivers posted in the last lap times, it seemed to be fairly close. Although Panda is generally faster than Abhay Thakur and Helium, although only by a couple of hundredths. So again, it will be very interesting to see who comes out on top out of these three. Although I think it'll come down to more of who makes the least mistakes out of these drivers and who can make sure that they don't make as many mistakes and be very consistent. We can see Abhay Thakur braking very late and almost hits the back of Helium, although he does not over here, saves it. But yeah, that did gain him a couple of times, like 2 or 3 times there, but then I don't think it would have been really that much effective. Uh, Considering that Helium was on the apex already and him being in the beamer, that car is pretty like very very wide, so he wouldn't have gotten even around the outside or something like that. So
Yeah,
very ambitious move from Abhay Thakur, but at least it has gained him some lap time over there.
yeah, it seems like up ahead, FIFA Kanak also had some incident and he has just now recovered, but he is still clear of everyone. He hasn't lost any positions as of now. We are currently on board Worship the Panda, who is chasing this pack of 2 ahead of him. He is losing some time and then again trying to cover up that time in the next lap with just 2.5 minutes left in this race. Maybe 2 laps of racing left. Let's see what can come out of this battle which is going on at the moment.
Yeah, Panda is hunting them down, and it comes down to Helium to make sure he's defending. And by the looks of it, Abid Thakur is half a tenth faster than Helium currently. He will, of course, have to be much, much faster than that if he has to make a move on Helium. And Panda was slightly slower than the both of them, hence why we could see that he was within that 8 tenths range, but now he's backing off to about a second. But yeah, Abid Thakur will have to set in slightly faster times than Helium and not just half a tenth to ensure that he can make a very good pass. I mean, he is going to get close at this pace, but there's just not enough time left if he's going to improve at this pace. So he will have to start to panic a little bit, start to hurry up a little bit, and start to put in those quality times as soon as possible.
Yep, indeed. Anyways, we are on board this battle. I do not see any other battle on the track as of now. Apart from this, it seems like Davlish Singh has pulled out a gap of 12 seconds for this entirety of this race. Obviously, the fastest time is set by Davlish Singh himself with a 1:41.0. So he is right now around a second quicker than everyone. 1.5 seconds, in fact, quicker than everyone on the field. So he is just having a Saturday drive. Definitely nothing exciting happening, but we do have Panda, who seems to have found his mojo here and is closing on to Abhay Thakur. They are getting really close to the rear of that Mercedes. Will he be able to make the pass with the final lap? The leader has already started his final lap and is almost half done into his final lap. So all Panda has is just 1 lap to get this move done, and he is sending it down the inside into turn 1. Thankfully, Abhay Thakur saw it coming and did go on a back foot and had to concede that position, and Worship the Panda successfully overtakes Abhay Thakur there.
Yeah, he did very good move from Worship the Panda there into turn 1, although he will be slightly frustrated because Helium was much closer 2 laps ago than he is now. Helium's just found that pace and he's pulled away while Panda and Abhay Thakur were fighting. So he won't be able to get that position unless, of course, Helium makes a mistake coming into the final lap. Of course, we can see Davli Singh is coming into the penultimate corner over here. And a very good race from him. I believe he has the fastest lap as well. So again, as you said, Dipanshu, very, it's a Saturday cruise kind of drive. And is this considered the final corner? I'm not sure, but he's coming across the line, and Davli Singh wins the first race at Imola.
Yeah, definitely. Soon to follow will be the other drivers, but yeah, definitely a Sunday drive for him. As Sai Prithvi crosses the line, comes P2, and Akbar Singh comes P3. The top 3 definitely not changing their positions from their quali start, so not much happened there. Rishabh in P4, FIFA Kanak will cross the line in P5, P6 by Deepakraj, and P7 by Starboy, who is about to cross the line now. P8 by Helium. Following close is Worship the Panda behind him, who unfortunately couldn't get the move done on them. P10 would be Abhay Thakur, who lost a position in the final lap with a brilliant dive by Worship the Panda. So that rounds up our top 10. Faizan again P11, winner of the AM class category in today's race. So he is going as a champion, I believe, from this race, at least in his class. So he is up right there in P11, AM class winner. Obviously, in silver class, we have Akbar Kumar, who came P3 as the winner, and in pro, we already know it's Davlish Singh. KG comes in P12 and Supreme Kai in P13. Akshay Shivani would be coming in P14, Star Max Lord P15, and Mr. Rout P16, Tegiz 1 P17, and Oshan after starting from the pits P18. So that's the final order for today's race. Today's first race. In fact, we still have one more race to go, which will be a 30-minute race, which will follow the same order, the same starting grid as the finishing order of race 1.
A very interesting race that was, and good recovery from Starboy as well as Star Lord. And really all of the endurance boys, I would say, because they didn't really put in as much practice for this race, but they, considering that they have a very little practice for Imola, they've done fairly well in terms of results, and especially Starboy, of course, up in P8, I believe it was, or something like that. I'm not sure. Excuse me for that, but yeah, very good result for them.
Yeah, definitely. Right now we are waiting for the second lobby to be set up. It will take us around 5 to 10 minutes. Meanwhile, we'll just have a look at the chat. I do see only Babaji who has been enjoying the race with us in the chat box, but there are 12 other people who have been watching with us the race one. So we would definitely like to hear some thoughts about the race one from you guys. And what did you think about that race? What did you like about it, and what are your predictions for the next race?
A very interesting race, of course. We saw battles throughout. I mean, turn one, of course, was slightly chaotic for the drivers in the back. Of course, the top order didn't really change much other than, Oshan. Unfortunately, I believe it was a disconnect for him, which caused him to start from the pits. But otherwise, the positions remain the same. Of course, Eitzel also got that unfortunate drive through. So he finished further back than he really realistically would have wanted to. We saw battles all throughout the field, regardless, and it was a pretty generally a very interesting race for us to watch, and it'd be a very interesting race for these drivers as well. In terms of race two, of course, a longer race by 10 minutes. It is, I think, 30-minute long race. So it will be. I think Davlish is going to win again, but I believe my bold prediction would be 8 cylinders is going to make a very good comeback and finish P2, followed by Prithvi.
Yeah, that's not a very, non. It makes sense. Whatever you said does make sense. Itzel is gonna make up a lot of positions, but I doubt that he's gonna make a lot of positions. Like right now, from wherever he is, maybe he can come up 2 or 3 positions, which is definitely gonna improve his points. But seeing that the drivers that are ahead of him are still very quick, it's gonna be a tricky thing for him to make a move on them in the second race. Although he has all the time in the world to do so, so he can sit back and relax and then find his battles and fight for them.
Yep, definitely. Again, you're not wrong at all, Dipanshu, but we'll have to see how it turns out for Eitzel as well as the other drivers, and we're just waiting for all the drivers to join at the server for the grid to be set up for the second race. And why don't you give me your top three predictions, Dipanshu?
I believe obviously Davlesh Singh is gonna be P1. Let's do one thing. If Davlesh Singh wins now, we are just not gonna take his interview. We're just gonna be like, congratulations. This you are very used to this. We have also ran out of questions, so no questions for you. But yeah, it's gonna be Davlesh Singh, and I believe Akbar Kumar can get P2 in the next race because he did show really good pace in the previous race and in quali. But I believe P2 will be Akbar Kumar, and P3 might be, either Sai Prithvi or FIFA Kanak, who can step up, maybe because of some incident that happens. But yeah, I don't expect a lot of change in the top.
Yeah, could be. It is a very plausible sort of prediction from your side. That could also be the case, definitely. And just as a little bit of a correction from my side, actually, it turns out that the our endurance boys, their race ended prematurely. So not sure
Ah.
what's happened to them there, but it is very unfortunate since all of them put in a lot of time and effort for that race. But yeah, that is quite unfortunate. And a little bit of also some news I'm getting is that Davlish got blocked on his on a couple of his laps. Hence why
Ah.
could not set a much better lap time. I would name who the driver is, but Yeah, that is quite unfortunate for him. Although, I mean, he did win by like a very good margin, so I don't think it mattered to him at the end of the day. But yeah, I mean, it is still quite a bummer because Sai Prithvi, it was, I believe, do correct me if I'm wrong, he was looking very, very strong. And, perhaps if he absolutely nailed his lap, he could have definitely gotten that pole position, considering that, Davlish did have a couple of, blockings here and there on his lap, hence why he could not improve.
Yeah, definitely. That sounds like a bummer. I'm more bummed about the endurance team though because, here at IRC we do not have a very good streak of endurance racing for some reason because we never seem to win because of luck. Something or the other keeps on happening. Obviously, to get a good position in endurance racing is more of a luck feat than a skill feat, in my opinion, because it's 12 hours. You can only do so much with your skill. Then at one point, your luck will run out, and I believe something similar to that would have happened to our endurance stream. But nevertheless, another endurance race is in 2 weeks, and there we have two of our endurance teams who will be participating from IRC in the AOR Endurance Championship. So we'll see what those boys can pull out from whatever they have. Obviously, one team is gonna be Audi, one team is gonna be BMW. So we are gonna see what they can do after 2 weeks. But for now, really unfortunate for them that they couldn't do. I believe it was which track? The USA Pack track. What is the name?
I'm not sure either. I believe it was Watkins Glen.
Ah,
It was.
Watkins Glen, yes. So it was that track which was there, and they did put in a lot of effort, but unfortunate for them. Anyways, the lobby has been made. We are waiting for drivers to join in. We have 18 drivers in the second race lobby. We are just waiting for one or two more drivers, and we will be going green with our 30-minute race that is to follow. And probably not gonna see much in the top, but definitely the midfield is where we find our happiness and our battles.
Will again, it will be very interesting to see that now that our endurance boys, especially, they are quite frustrated because of, I'm pretty sure they're very frustrated because of what happened in their race. I think they'll be trying to take out their frustration in terms of pace over here and trying to make up even more positions than they did in race one, and perhaps challenge for the overall top three podium also.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward for that. For now, definitely we have to wait and see. Starboy did look really good on those, in the previous race. So we have to just wait and see if he can pull out something similar in this race. Let me just get a bottle of water till these boys ready up. I will be back in a second. Maybe you can entertain our audience till then.
Sure. So I myself, I am not very aware of ACC personally. I don't really play much of ACC as well, not because I don't like ACC, but more because of I just don't have a PC myself, so I am commentating with my Xbox. But just a little bit of an introduction about to me, since I'm not sure what to talk about, because again, I'm not too technical about ACC and stuff. So just a small intro about myself there, and yeah, I
Uh,
think Dipanshu is back.
Yes, I am back. Yes, even our drivers are ready to go for the race, so we'll head back into the game and we will just wait for our drivers to start the next race. It is gonna be a 30-minute sprint race, a splash and dash again to the end.
Yup, no pit stops unless they have some sort of damage. So it will be again a very interesting race, especially under the lights. And this already is a very good, I'd say, scenery to look at. Just these red lights flashing from these cars sitting on the grid. Very, very good to look at. I mean, of course, now that the headlights are turning on from these cars, kind of ruins it. But again, they need it for the visibility, considering this track again has no track lights at all. So yeah, I just night racing is just a different sort of vibe, and that is what also these drivers will be going through with the same emotion, I would believe, having a good vibe while of course, focusing on the race itself. And soon we will be starting with our formation lap.
Yes, especially the Aston Martin lights. Oof, those slick rear lights look good. Although I have heard a lot of complaints from drivers, especially in endurance races when other drivers try to give indicators and all. It is not visible from that Aston. So, anyways, it is all the lights look really good as they are rounding off the final corner. The starting order for this race is Dablesh Singh, followed by Sai Prithvi, followed by Akbar Kumar, then Rishabh, then FIFA Kanak, then Deepakraj, then Starboy, then Helium, then Panda, and then Abhay Thakur. That is our top 10. So we will be keeping an eye on these drivers on what they can pull out and what they have in store with 30 minutes in this race, where they can get and what they can do.
Yup, soon to go green flag race now. And let's see what happens on the start, shall we?
Yes, definitely. They have crossed the red lights on the left side, so they should be going green and now. And that's how they go green, but it does seem like Akbar Kumar has a drive through as well, and he is about to get overtaken by Rishabh as well. So there goes my prediction out of the window. We have a couple of incidents back in the field, but up ahead it does seem like it is clear. We have Faizan who is caught up in an incident. We have Starboy who is caught up in an incident on the right side. We have a lot more yellow flag cars. We have Abhay Thakur who has been caught up in an incident has dropped to last position. But up ahead it seems like FIFA Kanak is about to get a move done on Deepakraj. They are going side by side into the hairpin. Is it hairpin? Not. You can call it hairpin, whatever it is. But he decides to stick back for at least this half of the straight.
Yes, and we can see now that Helium is that Helium? I believe that's Deepak. That is Deepakraj. Sorry, that's FIFA Kanak. Absolutely, my apologies. That's FIFA Kanak who's trying to put a lot of pressure on Deepakraj over there, and Deepak just does not seem to fall. And in that start as well, not sure what happened there, but I can place my bets on the visibility not being good. Hence why just a lot more cars piled up and went off track and so on and so forth. And yeah, that just caused a lot of chaos. Not sure what happened exactly there. That will be down to the stewards to decide whose fault it was. Although right now we can see FIFA Kanak is still trying to put pressure on Deepakraj, and Akbar Kumar will be, I believe, all the way down in the grid because of his drive-through penalty. Because Deepakraj's defensive master class that's happening right now is holding back a very, very big train behind him. Although we can see FIFA Kanak is closing in slightly more onto Deepakraj. He's almost side by side with him. Although there's not much straight left, so will he try to be brave on the brakes? Nope, just thinks the better of it. And yeah, that's about a 5-car train right there. And that is again very, very good defensive masterclass from Deepak, because if he loses one position, he's going to lose a lot more positions. And here we can see Helium defending off from 8 cylinders, and there's some sort of very, very light contact there behind with Panda and 8 cylinders. But then yeah, and we can see up ahead, we can see FIFA Kanak is trying to make a move on Deepakraj. Deepakraj has the inside. FIFA Kanak gets pushed off slightly onto the curb, but does not fall back. And we can see again Helium is trying to defend off from 8 cylinders who is in the Ferrari. And let's see, yeah, FIFA Kanak has gone down the inside and he loses the car, and there's a bit more contact there. Helium probably has damage because of that, and that has not gone well at all for him.
Yeah, definitely. FIFA Kanak just lost his car on the inside there. Maybe carried a bit too much speed than what his car could have handled, and that just made his car snap out. And he tried correcting it, but in an Audi, if you don't correct it correctly, that's something that happens in the Ferrari as well. So both Ferrari and Audi are sort of same in that aspect. They can snap on you whenever they want. And if you are not careful and if you overcorrect it, it will just overcorrect itself and go the other way and kill you. So that's one thing that is not helping the Ferrari boys. Oshan did try there, but was pushed onto the gravel. But here he is again. I believe Eitzel is trying to give way, because I think Eitzel felt that this was not right what he did there, pushing Oshan off the track. So he will try making the move on him fair and square, because we all know Eitzel is a fairer driver.
Yep, and Eitzel again making that mistake, just got caught out by those yellow sausage curbs, and that yellow sausage curb, be it a McLaren, be it a Ferrari, be it an Audi, it's catching everyone out today. And yeah, I think that again comes under the result of there being no track lights. They can't exactly see where they're going, although we can see Oshan. It's gone off slightly wide. That gives 8 cylinders a chance to come back. 8 cylinders trying to make a move around the outside, does not work. Oshan blocks it off very well, going through that somewhat of a hairpin that we could call it. And yeah, Oshan is still ahead.
So Oshan is trying whatever he can to defend from Eitzel. Eitzel definitely showing a lot more pace. Why won't he? He was P5 in qualifying, so he definitely has a lot more pace. But what he has to concentrate on now is that it's a long race. 30 minutes is a lot of time. Probably work on your lines, work on your not taking the sausage, and maybe that's gonna help him. Meanwhile, Eitzel flashing in frustration, I believe. But unfortunately, my friend, that's all you, and nothing to do with Oshan, I believe.
Yep, he did make a mistake. I think he will be frustrated. It's not gone well for 8 cylinders, because again, he is part of that endurance racing boys. I really hate bringing that up, but then it's just unfortunate that it happened that way. So that it is what it is, and he's just going to be even more frustrated now. Although we can see now Starboy, who had caught up in the incident earlier in lap 1, he's trying to make a move on Candidate. Again, Candidate in the Ferrari as well. He's defending well, and he goes onto the sausage cup, and he's gone off wide, completely off the track. And he's now, Starboy is right behind Star Max Lord, and both the stars really fighting it out here. Of course, one in the Ferrari, one in the Bentley. Ferrari, of course, has that straight line speed advantage. Although by the looks of it, yep, Star Max Lord, I think he made slight mistake there on the straight. Just went slightly off wide, and that just gave a very good opportunity for Starboy to go through.
I think
Star Max Lord.
I think he just lifted off. He gave way to Starboy, because I think he thought better of it. He knows that he is not his battle, and he lives to fight another day. We have Ghost and Helium, who are in their battle respectively. We'll keep an eye on Helium's battle for now, because I believe he's getting very close to Panda there. As I said, that he just lost his rear in the second part of Aqua Minerale, so maybe he will get up the position again. But we do have 3 drivers who are very close to the drivers up front right now on the leaderboard. We can't be on everyone, but we'll try to cover every move that is going on.
Yep, again, a lot of moves happening, a lot of fighting happening across the grid. So it will be interesting to see. Although we can see yellow flags of car number 2.
That's
not sure
21.
who that is. But that is Cannonade. He is stuck, I think, or no, I think he's just going to return to the garage after that incident. I mean, sorry, not really incident, but rather his mistake, and that cost him. He went off completely off the track, went onto the gravel. He probably has a lot more time, so he'll be considering to retire from this race. So I think he already has. So unfortunate for Cannonade. Although we can see now Helium and Worship the Panda fighting it out yet again. It's like race 1, and this time Worship the Panda is ahead of Helium. So it'll come down to, again, we'll have to see if Helium can clench back on Worship the Panda, or will Worship the Panda pull away.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see what this battle turns out. Another battle that is going just behind these folks is the battle of Eitzel and Oshan. They are still separated by less than a second, and they are trying to fight it out, battle it out. So we'll have to keep an eye on both the battles. But I believe Worship the Panda is slowing the pack down maybe a bit. As I say that, he goes really wide there. Helium also did a mistake there, seeing Worship the Panda, and because of that he could not get a move done there, or capitalize on the mistake of what Panda did just there, going wide.
Yep, again comes down to monkey see, monkey do. Helium was too focused on Panda itself, and Panda made that mistake, which caused Helium to get confused, and Helium also made that mistake. Although he did not go off the track, he still, lost a lot of time, and perhaps if he was focusing more on the track, he could have easily overtaken Panda there going into that chicane, because that would have lost Panda a lot more time if Helium did not make any mistakes. Although now we are back onto this fight between Ocean and 8 cylinders. 8 cylinders, of course, in the Ferrari has the slipstream of Ocean. The Ocean, of course, doing whatever he can basically to defend off from 8 cylinders. 8 cylinders not gaining that much. Will he try to make a move? Nope. Ocean blocks the middle of the track, so 8 cylinder has nowhere to go, so he just has to stick to his line. And Ocean doing very, very good defensively here.
Yeah, I am pretty sure the damage that 8 has from the incident earlier where he went and hit the wall face front is not helping him, because on the straight he is not able to even overtake a Porsche. So that's a very surprising thing to see, because generally a Porsche and a Ferrari are like day and night difference between their pace. So that's something that has happened. Meanwhile, Helium has fallen back from Panda. Maybe Panda got to know where his space is, and Ocean has closed down. FIFA Kanak is behind 8 at the moment, who is trying to get back to this pack, and FIFA Kanak has also caught up to this pack and is less than a second behind 8 at the moment.
Yep, FIFA has caught up with him, so 8 Cell is again going to be under a lot more pressure, and he goes over the sausage curbs yet again, although he keeps it under control, unlike before getting damage. But yeah, it's just not going to help him against FIFA Kanak. And here's Akbar Kumar, who's now trying to make a move. Starboy dips his wheels onto the grass, and now that's just helped Akbar Kumar to get past fairly easily.
Yeah, I believe in the race start, Starboy and Akbar Kumar were the ones who were involved in the incident, and because of that they are here. Meanwhile, Ocean is very close to Helium. I am not sure what has happened to Helium, but Helium seems to have lost whatever pace he had, and Ocean just outbreaks himself on the outside and gets the move done easy and simple.
Yep, very good move from him. Although I think 8 cylinders is going to be a lot more frustrated now. But yeah, and we can see slight squiggle there.
Oh!
And he summons a, who is that? That is Ocean, who's gone off. He had contact with the Helium, it is, I believe.
Yeah.
And that's just not gone well for Ocean, who was doing fairly well over there. But yeah, he's just had a bit of a contact there, went into the wall. He definitely has damage now.
Yeah, I think he dipped a wheel in the gravel and he was a bit slow. Helium just barged his way through. He was like, this is my line, this is my track, and he got the position. By killing Ocean, maybe Ocean's car is not in a very good shape, because I can see him down in the leaderboard down to P10. So he has to make up a lot of ground if he has to come back in this battle again. But we have a 3-car pack that has been formed, and Helium getting very bad exit out of that corner did completely block off 8 line there on the exit. That can be a good defending move there, because he did not allow 8 to get on power as early as possible, and that has helped him maintain the lead of this pack for now. But we'll have to wait and see for the straight who gets the move done on whom, because it is a Beamer versus a Ferrari, but Ferrari which is damaged. So anything can happen. Technically Ferrari should have way more speed than a Beamer, at least 10 kmph more, but that is not being shown as much here. Helium still manages to keep it ahead of the Ferrari of 8 there.
Yeah, I think that damage has screwed over 8 somewhat, that front damage. So I think that is what is not giving him that extra 10 kph that he would really require at this point. Although 8 is still not doing bad considering he does have that damage, he's still somehow managing to stay with Helium. But yeah, it's not going to help him out at the end of the day, that damage, especially if he's trying to make a move on the straights. And by the looks of it, because Helium, I believe, does not have damage, hence he can just stay ahead, whereas 8 gets slightly slowed down because of that damage on the straight. And he's gonna have that bit of understeer as well through the corners, so it's gonna really, I'd say, take him a lot to make a move on Helium and even get past him.
Yeah, definitely. We'll have to wait and watch. I think Eitzel is waiting for the start-finish straight to maybe get a move done. He's trying to be as close as possible to Helium there, taking a good line. That was a really, really good line there. But what he needs to do now is back off a bit so that he can get that perfect exit from the final corner, because if he gets unsettled in this last second corner, it is gonna be very difficult for him to get a good see like that. Yes, that's unsettlement there, and that has botched his exit there. Yep, he has completely botched the exit. There is no way he's gonna make a move. That braking by Helium just caught Eitzel off, and he missed the apex, and now he is here. He can't get the move done even if he has a bit of overspeed on Helium. But is he deciding to
He
go for
got
it?
very close.
I did get very close, but decided to stay away. Meanwhile, we have Oshan, who is making his move on Teg is 1 into turn 1 around the outside. So that was a beautiful move there. But right now, even Ghost will be looking fancy to get the move done. We have Eitzel, who just now got overtaken by FIFA Kanak. What happened there? We just now switched off from this battle, and already Eitzel lost a position somehow. Not sure what happened there, but anyways, he will be trying to get back to Helium, to the battle that he was actually involved in.
Yep, and considering that FIFA Kanak is looking slightly faster than Eitzel, I think he'll rather be happy for FIFA Kanak to be ahead currently, so that FIFA Kanak can perhaps pressurize Helium there, and perhaps he could just slip past them, because I believe he's not gonna really get let's say blocked through that final corner, but he will have to keep that distance so that he could get that better exit that he wants, and he gets very loose. Gets in control of his car though, but yeah, it's just not helped out. I mean, there's still 14 minutes left in the race. He can still put in laps and come back, although now I think his confidence will be completely destroyed at this point.
Yeah, another monkey see monkey do situation there. Because we did see ahead of him FIFA Kanak also lose his rear a bit, and Eitzel just followed by losing it completely. Right now Ghost is trying to chase down this pack, where Tech is 1 has just now overtaken Oshan again back ahead, and meanwhile a McLaren getting so close to Porsche and Beamer. Actually, yeah, McLaren is a bit quicker than the Porsche for sure. Not sure about the Beamer. Maybe both share the same pace, but anyways, that did seem promising. So if he manages to get a good exit out of the final corner, he does have a chance on the boys up front who are fighting it out.
They are fighting, and Oshan, I think he just let Tigers one by on the main straight, because I think he did a bit of lifting. Because I don't think that Tigers one had that much speed compared to the Porsche on the main straight itself, unless Tigers one is running a lot lesser downforce, which I don't think he could be. So
No, but in the
perhaps Oshan could try and come back to Tigers one.
In the Beamer, generally the strategy is to run as low wings as possible, though, because you don't have that much of a top speed, but you have a very stable car, so you try to compensate it with the lower wings. We have Tech is 1 who has spun out, and then there's Ghost hitting him. So I believe some incident happened there as soon as we switched away from this. Maybe Tech is 1 just missed the corner, went on the bumps too aggressively, and spun out. One of those things happened, and that has caused this incident.
What actually happened was, I think I'm looking at the replay right now, Oshan hit the back of Tigers one, and then because of that it spun out there, and then there's like a couple more cars who were like very close behind them, so they also unfortunately hit him, and yeah, that is what ended up happening. This Oshan will be reported for that, although it's just gonna help out 8 cylinders, who's now again coming back to FIFA Kanak. He's lost some time though to FIFA Kanak and Helium. Then again, if FIFA Kanak and Helium like properly start fighting with about 11 minutes or almost 12 minutes to go, then I think it could bring 8 cylinder back into this fight over here.
Yeah, definitely. This is looking like it can bring back 8 cylinders, because it does not seem like Helium has the pace, but we all know that both the guys behind him, definitely have the pace. So he is holding back. Eitzel has already closed down the gap to point 0.3. So all he has to do is not do any other mistake than what he was doing before, and he should be all good.
He has closed in a lot, considering that these guys are fighting, and of course Helium using his best defensive masterclass that he's been showing throughout this race as well as the previous one. So it is putting up a lot of challenge for FIFA Connect as well as Eitzel, and I think Eitzel will be slightly more tempted to try and make a move on FIFA Connect, so perhaps he could have another hand at Helium to see if he can get past. Although FIFA Connect is very, very close to Helium, he tried to send one down the inside, perhaps. He is looking at it. Thinks the better of it, though, does not go for it, and his next best chance, of course, will be on the straight. And Helium doing what he has done basically every lap, and that is making sure that the guy behind doesn't get a very good exit out of the final corner. That is what has happened over here, and FIFA Connect has not gotten a very good exit.
Yeah, that's a good strategy that he is deploying there. He is just braking at awkward places, catching people off guard, and because of that, they are messing up their exit from the final corner, because that's one corner whose exit you need to get it right if you wanna make a move on a slower car which is running ahead of you. Obviously, Audi and the Ferrari both being around 5 to 10 kmph, and that's Helium gone, and that's another touch and go there between Eitzel and FIFA Canuck. Helium somehow has stayed alive ahead of them. I thought that he died there, but he has stayed alive, and he is still ahead of both of these drivers somehow. That has to be a time gained warning, because it did look like he gained a lot of time there.
Yeah, but that could also be somewhat of a result of FIFA Canuck just pushing Eitzel off and them having a slight contact there. Although Helium did cut across the corner there, I did see that. So that could be reportable, perhaps he will be reported, but then again down to the stewards. And we can see actually in the background the car of Ocean, I think it is. If this battle goes on at this current pace, I think it will be fairly easy for Ocean to catch up, and then it's just going to become a four-way, or even if Ghost could follow him through, then five-way battle for P6 it is. Of course, Helium not willing to give up that position as easily. So we'll have to see how that turns out. And by the looks of it, FIFA Canuck does not get a very good exit yet again. Although that's just helped out 8 cylinders over here, and perhaps he could make a move on FIFA Canuck.
Well, both Ferrari and the Audi have the same straight line speed and the same sort of characteristics. So not sure what Eitzel will be thinking that he needs to do different to get this move done, as FIFA Canuck is also trying to get Helium, who is not taking usual lines. He is defending in the middle of the track, so that is catching him off guard. So it is getting very difficult for the drivers behind to keep track of what to do, as Eitzel mounts those yellow sausages and again loses time to the pack ahead.
Eitzel needs to stop making that mistake, because that is really, really catching him off and basically ruining his chances of making a move on FIFA Canuck, who is slightly struggling behind Helium, of course, because Helium is just, as you said earlier, Deepakraj, he's just breaking in very unpredictable places, and it's just catching the drivers behind off guard. Of course, completely legal what he's doing, but I think 8 cylinders, again, there is 7.5 minutes left. He's only a second behind FIFA Canuck. He'll be able to catch up, but then these guys have to become slightly more careful now, considering there's only a couple minutes left, and any mistake and them being stationary for long because of that mistake, perhaps going off track and hitting the wall, or even getting a lot of damage, would mean that they're going to lose a lot more position. And looking at the group that is just behind Ocean, there's a lot of drivers who are just following very closely to each other. So anyone making a mistake at this point would mean that you basically fall behind all of those drivers. I think car number 74 behind is where you will be if you make any sort of a mistake that gives you a lot of damage. And these drivers are flashing their lights. I think it is for that blue flagged car. Not sure. I think it is Supreme Kai. They're basically flashing him and telling him to get out of the way. And that is someone gone off. That is Supreme Kai. And I'm pretty sure they're flashing him to get off the racing line. that is a different level of getting off the racing line from Supreme. And Aircel sends it down the inside of FIFA Kanak. Oh, the Aircel loses it and he is off the track. He is on the gravel now, and he's definitely going to lose a lot more positions over here. And yeah, that was very, very unfortunate for 8-Sil. And I mean, Supreme Kai made that mistake, but then, oh yeah, there's a big sort of pile up there, and 8-Sil has RTG. And oh my god, there is more contact that is happening. And yeah, I think one more contact. No, these drivers, I think there was Raja. Raja basically managed to avoid Upbeat Thakur. And yeah, one mistake from 8-Sil, one mistake from Supreme Kai, and then it just started a very, very big sort of chain reaction of mistakes. And even FIFA Kanak went over those yellow sausage cups and did a slight mistake there, although keeps not track. And Upbeat Thakur is now in the on the side of the track, and now he's RTG'd, so their race is over. So a very interesting last, I would say, 30 or 40 seconds that was the match.
Yeah, I think it all started with 8-Sil taking the sausage again, and this time just because he was going side by side with another car, and that definitely did not help his cause. He did lose his car again and went into the gravel, and I think he was trying to reverse into on the track, and the field came by and they just knocked him out, and that was a huge pile up there. So not a good day for 8-Sil for sure. He needs to take a break and maybe recollect his thought and his day today.
Yep, he will have to come back in the next race. I believe he is leading the silver class. So that him not scoring good points here does mean that he will be very discouraged. Although, of course, 8-Sil is not the guy to give up very easily. He will come back in the next race stronger. But yeah, it's just not been a good day for 8-Sil today. And if anything, I believe started off with Supreme Kai making that mistake. 8-Sil also got caught slightly off guard with Supreme Kai because of that. 8-Sil made that mistake. He tried rejoining back onto the track. And of course, looking at the visibility problem yet again, the drivers could not see properly the lights of 8-Sil. And by the time they could realize, oh, there's a car there, I think it was too late at that point. And yeah, it just caused big chain reaction to form over there. And of course, as I said earlier, you make one mistake at that point and you're just gonna fall right back at the back. That is what happened.
Right now we are on board Tegis1, who is currently trying to chase KG, who is ahead of him. So they did come really close to each other. They have been fighting throughout the race in the background. They had made a couple of positions up and down. Previously as well, I was keeping an eye on them, but right now it seems like going into the chicane, trying for some switchback lines, but I don't think so it's gonna happen. Tegis1, you have to be patient and should have looked for a better exit there, but nevertheless you still have two more corners where you can look for a good move, as FIFA Kanak is going side by side with Helium on the main straight on the start finish line. FIFA Kanak is ahead of Helium finally, but Helium coming in very quick with the correct line, with the proper racing line, and gets the move back from FIFA Kanak there. What a brilliant move that was from Helium. He just sent
very
it.
good move from Helium. Again, Helium just trying to do whatever he can to stay in that P6, because Deepakraj, Worship the Panda, and the rest of the grid have just pulled away by a large margin. So Helium, of course, showing his defensive masterclass, keeping FIFA Kanak behind. Although there's still about 2 minutes 50 seconds left in this race, so he has about 2 more laps left to defend off from them. And we can see Ocean has caught up a lot to these drivers, so Ocean will also be getting into the mix here very, very quickly. So these guys will have to be on their toes completely and not make any mistakes.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, it seems like that was Helium going sideways. Yes, he was. So he does cut Aqua Minerale again. So he has to be on a couple of warnings. So he has to be careful as to what he does. Going into the chicane, he still follows Helium closely. That seems to be a blue flag car of Raut ahead of him. So he has to look for a way to get past him with FIFA Kanak right behind him. He does give way very easily to both the drivers who are battling for P6 at the moment.
Yep, and we can see FIFA Kanak has gotten a very good line, a very good run out as well out of the final corner, and he's just tucking into the slipstream there. He's going slightly side by side. His tire is on the rear end of Helium's car, and now they're going properly side by side. So who's going to be later on the brakes? We'll have to see as we go into turn one. Fakana is ahead, all the Heliums comes back on the brakes, and Helium just takes that position back by being much later and much more confident on the brake, although he makes a slight mistake.
Yeah.
And here comes FIFA Kanak, and there is a slight contact, so that has not happened. Although now that's bringing Oshan back into this fight. Will Oshan send it down the inside? Nope, thinks the better of it and does not send it on FIFA Kanak. Although FIFA Kanak is now getting slightly more frustrated, he's making slightly more mistakes. Bit of contact between Ocean and FIFA Kanak there. FIFA Kanak sends it and he spun around Helium. Even he spun around there. And yeah, that was just very, I'd say, desperate move from FIFA Kanak, and it did not turn out well for the both of them.
I did see that coming because Helium on the exits was just parking it on the middle of the corner. And I think that was just frustrating FIFA Kanak, and I saw that coming. I saw that incident coming from a very far off. This reminds me of the AOR race that I had once in Nürburgring, where I was fending off a guy for almost 30 minutes. And there is a limit to what patience people have. He was quicker than me, but all you have to do is park your car on the exit, on the entry, and that's all what is GT3 racing if you want to defend. And he did get frustrated, and he did end up doing something similar that caused a race ending thing there. So something similar we saw here today from FIFA Kanak. Both of them lost a couple of positions, especially to Ghost and Oshan there. Ghost has been following closely to Oshan from the past couple of laps. Obviously the fight that Oshan was involved in the last lap did not help Oshan's cause, and Ghost could close up a bit more to him, and now he's just 2 tenths behind him. I wanna just look at this battle. What is gonna happen now?
In Helium. Helium breaks later, defends properly. Will FIFA Connect make the same mistake as the last lap? He's getting very close though. He is still closing in. He is slightly twitchy on the exit. Will he make another desperate move? Looks down the inside. Nope. Things are much better of it. Does not want to make the same mistake twice. And yeah, very good again defending from Helium. And it was this corner where the mistake happened 1 lap ago, but nope. Kind of keeps it well, although his car's twitchy, and the race is over. I believe that is W Singh who has won yet again. And with
30 plus seconds of the P2 guys, so that has happened. But Sai Prithvi is coming across the finish line right now and finishing in P2. Rishabh gets P3 with his finish. So definitely Akbar Kumar getting in an incident didn't help him. Deepakraj is also as of now very close, but we are right now on board FIFA Kanak and Helium. Both of them again going side by side through the chicane. Helium taking the inside line, did it took? I forgot. But anyways, we will keep an eye on this battle as they are heading on to the penultimate corner. It does seem like FIFA Kanak has way better pace, way better top speed than Helium. See, again, that's what I am telling about, the parking on the exit. That's what Helium is doing. He is parking on the exit. We could clearly see that Helium could have accelerated, but he decided to not accelerate and stay on the middle of the track and block the line of FIFA Canucks, and in turn defending like a champ there. So definitely some people will call it unethical, but it is a fair defending move no matter what, because all he is doing is parking, and that's what Sergio Perez also did, if I'm not wrong, in the last season of F1. So definitely a fair defend from Helium that was, and a brilliant defend from Helium that was.
That could also be that FIFA Connect perhaps just gave up, I'd say, because he knew there's going to be a penalty coming his way after what that happened. Of course, a very desperate move, but yeah, very fun and interesting 2 races that we had here at Imola in the night. And yeah, W Singh has won both the races with the fastest lap, and this race is won by over a 20-second margin. So yeah, W Singh just showing that he is going to continue to dominate unless Masoom could perhaps come back next week and give Davlish a very, very good and fair fight.
Yeah, definitely. Going down the field, you can see on the left hand side, Worship the Panda is in P4 when he overtook Deepakraj. P6 is Oshan, P7 Ghost, P8 Helium, P9 FIFA Kanak, P10 Akbar Kumar, P11 Raja, P12 Tegiz 1, P13 Starboy, P14 Faizan, KG in P15, 16 is Mr. Raut, 17 is Akshay Sivani, 18 is AXL after his incident. He RTG'd, and 19 is Abhay Thakur, 20 is Supreme Kai, 21 Starmax Lord, and 22 Cannonade, who did not finish the race at all. And obviously, our silver class winner is gonna be Deepakraj for the second race, and Faizan again getting the AM class win in today's race.
Yep. Very, very good race from all of the winners as well as the rest of the pack as well. Very fun and interesting race from them. And now we'll just bring our drivers in for the podium interview.
Definitely. Let me just have a look at the comment box. Anyone else? No, it's just Baba who was vibing here in our comment in our chat box a couple of minutes back. So no one else is there. We are having a couple of our race winners in the VC. So why don't you start with it simply?
Yep, sure. I will get started with Deepakraj here. Deepak, are you with us?
Yep, yep.
Okay, so Deepak, very, very fun and interesting. Both the races from your side, although, of course, race one, your position didn't really change much. Of course, 8 cylinders, and somebody else did make a mistake, so you did gain those positions. Although, in race two, you had a very, very good fight throughout the race with Panda. So, why don't you talk us through that?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, race one, it was positions as it is, and just Eitzel had an unfortunate DT. I was just thinking that we're gonna have a good battle, but then he ends up getting DT and falling behind. And the race two, like I said, had a good start. Managed to jump FIFA Connect, but yeah, it was very tough to hang on to it. And at one point, FIFA Connect made a mistake, and so did Eitzel when he was chasing after me. And somehow I was managing a gap, but all it took was a little distraction for me to do some position to Panda as well. And after that, I could never really catch him. Like there were a few occasions when I could catch him, but I had very bad exits on the final corner, which meant that there was no way I could utilize the car strengths. And yeah, Panda beat me there. But yeah, that was a good race from him as well.
Yep, very good race from them. And perhaps, 8 cylinders, of course, during race one, he did fall back because of his drive through. But perhaps did you think that in race two, he could put on an absolute massive, let's say a very, very good show of pace and, perhaps catch back to you guys, perhaps put pressure on you and Panda, although, of course, that did not happen. But at one point, did you think that he could perhaps do that because he did have a lot of pace to show here today?
Yeah, you were right. He did show a lot of pace even in the practice sessions. So I was pretty sure it was gonna be a very short time until Eitzel caught it to me, which he actually did. But yeah, there was an unfortunate. I really don't know what happened. I was clearing through the chicane. Maybe me being extra slow through the chicane caught him out or something. I don't know. But after the chicane, I just saw in the rear view that his car just went sideways. So yeah, that's really unfortunate for his race. But pretty sure he had a lot of pace in him to be at the top step.
Yeah, very unfortunate for Edsel. And yeah, again, once again, congrats on that, Deepak. Very, very good 2 races from you. And Dipansh, why don't you take us for the next driver?
Yeah, we do have all our podium winners in this race. We do have all the podium winners from pro class itself. So let's start off from P3. I believe it was Rishabh. So Rishabh, talk us through your race. Nothing much happened, I believe. Only in second race, something happened in the beginning. So what exactly happened there?
Uh, Akbar just got a drive through, then I got lucky, so I just stuck behind Sai for the rest of the race. Yeah,
So
yeah.
nothing else, just casual driving on a
Casual
Saturday.
driving, close calls with the back markers, almost died, but otherwise it was just fine. Yeah.
Okay. Unfortunately, not a very eventful race. But were you ever thinking of catching up to Sai Prithvi throughout that stint?
Yeah, I was thinking of catching up. I was catching some places and I was losing time because skill issue. And yeah, towards the end my tires were giving off, so I couldn't do anything.
Okay. Makes sense because, yeah, after 30 minutes, your tires will definitely take a hit. But nevertheless, that was a good effort from you. In race one, you finished somewhere around P5, P6, right? If I'm not wrong.
I finished P4, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you gained one position in second race, and then that's what it was. Okay. Anyways, that was a good drive, keeping it clean and not getting it into any incidents with the back markers, as you are telling. And you managed to finish P3. So, really good drive from you. Congratulations on your P3 win in the second race
Thank you.
and a P4 win in the first race. But moving on, we have P2 winner Sai Prithvi of both race 1 and race 2. Again, I believe a very boring race for you, or anything exciting that you have to share with us.
Yeah, nothing much happened. Both races was pretty much lonely. Earlier today, I was struggling with the car setup, made some last minute changes that really helped me out in these fast track conditions. I'm not really strong in those usually. Race 1, Akbar was putting pressure on me, so I had to keep up on my toes, make sure I don't make any mistakes. I had to stay consistent. Even though I did make mistakes in race 2, more than race 1. Race 1, I felt a little more comfortable, but at race 2, with the tires going off, I was making more mistakes more often. But still, I had to stay alert because Rishabh was catching up to me. I've raced with him before. He has really good pace over here. Here in Barcelona, is really strong. So I had to do my best to make sure he doesn't overtake me.
Yeah, well, any point in both the races did you ever think that you are gonna catch, our very own Davlesh Singh?
No, not happening now. It's not
Well,
happening anytime soon.
well, I guess most of the people who were driving today did not have that thought. But yeah, a brilliant race from you as well, and a brilliant finish of P2 in both the race, especially in P1. Brilliant job in keeping Akbar Kumar behind for at least the initial half when he was less than a second behind you. So, great job there, and great finish for today's race at Imola. Uh,
Thank you.
Moving on to Davlesh Singh himself, I told before itself in the stream that we are not gonna ask you any questions because we don't have any questions. You don't, you pretty much just go off and have nothing. But anyways, did you have any interesting thing in this race?
Um, sort of knew beforehand that it was going to be a lonely race, so I set out a challenge for myself that I'm
Okay.
going to do polylap after polylap in the race and not get a DT. I was
Ah,
pushing on the edge every single lap. I In the first race I didn't really get any warnings, but in the second race I picked up two warnings towards the end. But yeah,
okay.
I didn't stop pushing.
Well,
That was the challenge. Yeah.
at least some challenge you can keep to entertain yourself because I can imagine how boring it can be. But we did see your every lap push did result in 23 seconds. You finished ahead of P2, that is Sai Prithvi. So again, whatever we say every week, brilliant race. Again, fastest lap, fastest both races win, pole position, grand slam, whatever, every race every week this is the case, unless we have a Masum or someone back again racing with us. But yeah, brilliant race from you, at least not doing any mistakes even though you were pushing every lap, as to what you are telling. So congratulations on your race win or grand slam, whatever it is.
Yep. Thank you.
Okay, so anything you have simply to add?
Nope, just that we had very fun and interesting races, and of course, my second time commentating for ACC. Again, both the races have been very, very interesting. Of course, Silverstone earlier that we had with the wet weather racing, that was very, very interesting to commentate as well as watch. And it was the same here at Imola. The nighttime did put in a lot of challenges for the drivers, although most of them did come out on the top. Like, I mean, Davlish really nailed. I'd say all these sort of conditions, any challenge put at him. So yeah, overall a very fun and interesting race, especially in the midfield where we got to see and Deepakraj, them fighting it out for those midfield positions. Helium, FIFA Kanak, even Eitzel was at it at one point. So very interesting races, both of them.
Yeah, definitely. That's a good summary from you, simply. But we will close the stream now. If you have stuck till here and if you liked what you watch. Do consider subscribing and liking this video. We will be back again tomorrow with another stream, and it will be on the F1 2022 game. We have tier 2 race tomorrow afternoon at 2:30, and at night we have the all infamous tier 1 race. We are expecting really good attendance, almost a full grid in both the races, so definitely it's gonna be an interesting race, and it is the circuit of the Americas, so that's gonna be a good race to watch, so definitely tune in for that. But that's it for now from myself, No More Pro Player, and Simply YT in the comms box and as streamer. So thank you for watching and have a good day, and see you next time.